couple of weeks ago, a man by the name of Jalen Walker was shot and killed by police officers in Akron, Ohio. They say upwards of 90 shots were fired. And so it made me think, as you would expect, there's a lot of outrage within the so-called Black community. At the time of this recording, all of the facts have yet to be released, but we do at least know that he attempted to flee from police. He jumped out of the passenger side of a moving vehicle while wearing a ski mask. So it begs the question, is that what defines the Black community? You see, once upon a time, we had an understanding. You were either in or out. You were either a criminal or you were not. There was a song by a rap group called CNN, stood for Capone and Noriega. And on their debut album in 1997 called The War Report, they had a song called Halfway Thugs. Or perhaps you're familiar with the more popular song, the infamous Mobb Deep, Shook Ones. And in the chorus, they talk about halfway crooks. We didn't used to respect those kinds of people. And we still shouldn't, which is why I don't have a ton of respect for many of you, or at least the people who are upset when the Jalen Walkers of the world are killed by cops, or when the George Floyds of the world are killed by cops, or perhaps Jacob Blake or Rayshard Brooks. Of course, Rayshard Brooks resisted arrest, took a taser from a police officer and used it against him before he was killed. What do all of these men have in common? Well, of course, they were killed by police, whether you think the act was justified or unjustified. They were all killed by police while in the act of committing a crime. You see, I'm not a criminal because I've chosen not to be one. Because you're either in or you're out. I was made to believe coming up that there was a world out there, a world full of success, a world that I didn't have access to, or at least fair access to, because the people who set up the system set it up in such a way as to prevent me from making it. See, I've been there and I've done that. And I won't go into the laundry list of things that I've done in my past, but I had to get to a certain point as a man where I had to make a decision. Either you a thug or you're not. You a gangster or you a square. Because see, those who operate on the outside of the law, that's not my community. And most of you know exactly what I'm talking about because most of you all don't behave that way. When's the last time you ever ran from a police officer? When's the last time you were ever stopped for whatever it was and decided to flee the scene? How many of you have ever attempted to knowingly pass a counterfeit bill only to then resist arrest for 30 minutes before being placed on the ground and having a knee put into your back? Not many of you, I suppose. How many of you have ever sexually assaulted a woman in front of your own children, resisted arrest, and then went to go and grab a deadly weapon before being shot in the back by a police officer? You see, I don't do those kind of things, and most of you don't. So why are we defending these actions? We attack police in an effort to defend the actions of people with whom we have nothing in common with. George Floyd is not me. Jalen Walker, he's not me. Sure, we're both Black, but we ain't shit alike. So why are Black people, Black men in particular, expected, regardless of what it is that they do for a living or regardless of how they choose to live their lives, expected to circle the wagons around people like them? You see, but I'm the sellout. I'm the house nigga. I'm the one that's shucking and jiving and buck dancing for Mr. Charlie. Nah, motherfucker, that's you. You're the buffoon. You're the stereotype. Every rapper, ball player, actor who either have never lived that life or have chosen to give that life up, making you believe that you ought to feel a sense of connection with them. See, we pander to the lowest common denominator, and they become the standard bearer of what the Black community is supposed to be. See, if you really want to fix the problem in the Black community, it is time that we began to speak truth. Because if we don't speak truth, then nothing is ever going to change. How can people confront the problem when they are not being told the truth? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. As I said moments ago, I've been there and I've done that. But see, they, and you all know who I mean when I say they, the left-wing forces of this country love when they can take a young Black man such as myself and use them as poster children for their failed philosophy. Because see, when you can get the rappers, the ball players, and the actors to go out there and do the real buck dancing on your behalf, then you love niggas. But you don't give space and quarter to niggas like me because I don't do and say what you want me to say. So you love Snoop Dogg and T.I. and Talib Kweli and LeBron James and sellout Black filmmakers like Spike Lee. You love men like them because they do your bidding while pretending to be fighting against the system, while perpetuating every single solitary negative Black stereotype under the sun. So the question becomes, where do we go from here? What do you want your future to be? You either in or you out.